Come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only there.
All right, this is Russell Dobular with Keaton Weiss filling in for Jimmy Dore. So Israel, you know, we're told it's a very complicated situation, and but if you look at what the Israelis themselves say about their views about the Palestinians, they seem remarkably unconflicted about what's going on. So this has been going around the internets. Regular, everyday, peace-loving Israeli women were asked if they knew the number of children killed in Gaza. Here we go.
How many civilians have been killed in Gaza, from what you know?
Who gives a shit?
Okay, but don't you feel like, for example, children?
Children grow up to be Arabs.
את יודעת כמה חפים מפשע נהרגו בעזה?
טוב, אז כנראה שנעצור.
ואת לא רוצה לענות על זה?
תודה.
אוקיי, אפשר לשאול למה?
כי אני לא חושבת שיש מישהו שהוא חף פשע שם. צר.
את יודעת כמה חפים מפשע נהרגו בעזה?
לא, זה גם לא מעניין אותי.
לא? למה?
לא מעניין אותי, אני...
Okay, so I don't care. There are no innocents there.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? Who cares? So, you know, they don't seem all that conflicted. Now, there's just a little clip from two nice Jewish boys here. We're just going to look at a little of this. And then I'm going to show you the Israeli idea of comedy. There's two nice Jewish boys. Imagine a genocide button and just how hard most Jewish Israelis would smash it if they had the chance. If it would kill all Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank in an instant. All right, let's see.
Yeah, this went viral a few months
listening
ago.
to our words and saying, how could they be advocating to, you know, do massive bombing, indiscriminate bombing, you know? How could they talk about killing children? We're not advocating to target children, but forgive us if we don't give a shit. If, you know, everybody there dies. It's just the way we feel. It's just the way Israelis feel.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is somebody most of you probably haven't seen. If you watch our show, I featured him a couple times. This is what comedy would have been like if the Nazis had won the war. You want to get an idea of a culture. There's no better way to understand a culture than to look at its comedy, to look at what it thinks is funny. So apparently Israelis think genocide is hilarious. This guy's name is Yohei Sponder. He tours. He just had a very successful tour in America. He performed here in New York at a very Libby kind of nightclub, City Winery, very beloved of the liberal class, sold out shows there. Very successful tour. So let's see what their idea of comedy is.
Everyone blames us for genocide. And we're not. We know we're not. And I'm thinking about it. You know, I had a girlfriend that she always blamed me that I'm cheating on her. And in one point I said, listen, I can't be blamed from something that I didn't do. I hate to someone just for, you know? What I'm trying to say, guys, stop pushing it. We have the tools for genocide. We have. You don't want to do it? I don't think Israelis per se can do genocide just because we're very bad with trains. You know, we have Egyptians. Very bad. Look, the train to Jerusalem, 15 years. Come on. You know? We're going to have Palestinians like, kill us already! Kill us! I want to wait!
Hilarious. Hilarious. That genocide going on right next door. So this is Khaleesi showing she's got a great account. So a thread of statements made by Israeli officials indicating their intent to exterminate Palestinians in the Gaza Strip as a whole. Okay, Tali Goltiv, member of the Israeli Knesset. Without hunger and thirst among the Gazan population, we will not succeed in recruiting collaborators. We will not succeed in recruiting intelligence or in bribing people with food, drink, medicine in order to obtain intelligence. Yoav Kish, Israel's education minister. Those are animals. They have no right to exist. I am not debating the way it will happen, but they need to be exterminated. This attack is not enough. There should be more. There should be no limits to the response. I said it 1,000,000 times. Until we see hundreds of thousands fleeing Gaza, we, the IDF, has not achieved its mission. Yoav Gallant, Israel's defense minister. I have ordered a complete siege on the Gaza Strip. There will be no electricity, no food, no fuel. Everything is closed. We are fighting human animals, and we are acting accordingly. This is Nassim Vaturi, Deputy Speaker of Israel's Knesset. If you want to know why all these Israelis have like these made-up Star Wars names, it's because their names are Eastern European names. They made these names up. These are not like family names.
Right.
Erase Gaza. Nothing else will satisfy us. It is not acceptable that we maintain a terrorist authority next to Israel. Don't leave a child there. Expel everyone. Isaac Herzog, Israel's president. It's an entire nation out there that's responsible. This rhetoric about civilians not aware, not involved, it's absolutely not true. They could have risen up. They could have fought against that evil regime. By the way, Hamas was funded by Israel and Netanyahu.
Right.
May Golan, Israel's minister for the advancement of the status of women. All right, you want to see a very extreme example of how the woke rhetoric is a smokescreen for horrors? I don't care about Gaza. I literally don't care at all. They can go out and swim in the sea. I want to see dead bodies of terrorists around Gaza. Now, presumably there are women in Gaza, and she must know that. Minister for the advancement of the status of women.
Yeah, she's even got the streak of the hair dye and everything. It's a very woke presentation.
Very woke. Very.
Plus, they're not allowed to go out and swim in the sea, are they? If they go too far out to the sea, they get shot.
They go too far out, they'll blow you up. It's like Escape from New York.
Yeah, so they're not allowed to just go swim in the sea.
No. Alma Cohen, member of Israeli Knesset. Destroy a neighborhood in Gaza every day the abductees are in their hands. If we blink, we run out of global credit. Every day that the abductees are with them, a neighborhood must be destroyed of its inhabitants. Now, are these really just the ravings of outliers? Well, no. I mean, it seems like they're describing policy because that's exactly what they've been doing. We just covered a story that Israel's Knesset just voted to end UNRWA's operations in Gaza and the West Bank. Millions of Palestinians are entirely dependent on UNRWA for their survival, for their medical care, for their education. And guess who that's going to fall to if UNRWA is not allowed to do it? Israel. We've seen how Israel has met its obligations under international law regarding allowing food aid to go to the Palestinians. This is a true war of extermination. Everything that Israel is doing is aimed at pushing the Palestinians into neighboring countries and killing them. They are creating greater Israel. We have been saying this for a very long time. In the end, they're saying, you know what? In 100 years, we'll let a Palestinian do a land acknowledgement dance at our concerts. You know, we'll talk about how bad we feel. But at that point, what's done is done, right? We'll have the land. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. And I expect that process to accelerate now under Trump. And I'm not saying that it would have been better under Kamala Harris. I think it would have been slower. I think she would have nudged Israel. Come on, you got to let more aid in. I can't let my good, nice, liberal constituents think that I'm intentionally allowing you to exterminate these people. You're going to have to slow it down a little bit, let some aid in, make it look like you're trying. Trump has no obligation to do that, feels no obligation to do that.
Right.
Which is why I say, this could get much, much uglier than even it's been so far in a very short period of time.
Well, you could see already, and I agree with you. It just would have been slower under Harris. Yeah. You could see already, as soon as he won the election, any pretense, what little pretense they might have been trying to put forward that they're not committing a genocide, that they're not exterminating these people like insects, like vermin, that that's not what their war aims are, went out the window. They just started. I don't know that they would have taken that vote on UNRWA if Harris had won, because that party feels a need to have some plausible deniability about their support for genocide. Where with Trump, that's it. Full steam ahead.
Well, when you interview the rank and file, this is the philosophy of the state. This is the philosophy of the people. This is why I said, and I don't take any of it back. They are psychologically broken people. There is something in a person that is just broken.
Yes. That
you can ask them, well, do you know or care how many children have been killed? No, who gives a shit?
They grew up to be Arabs.
Not working in you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, a lot of Israelis feel wrongfully a sense of generational shame that their ancestors were not able to resist the Nazis. I'm not saying they should feel that shame. They were overpowered. Obviously, there's only so much you could do. But I think that is part of their real contempt for anything they perceive as weakness. That's why they're not funny. They're not funny because in order for people to be funny, they have to be able to laugh at themselves. If you can't laugh at yourself, you can't possibly be funny. You have to have a sense of humor about yourself before you can be funny about anything else. And not only do they not have a sense of humor about themselves, they have a hatred for people who do, especially for Jews who do. Yeah. That's why they have a special contempt for nice, funny, friendly, self-deprecating Jews like Russell and myself. They actually call us Holocaust Jews, not just self-hating Jews, Holocaust Jews. You're a Jew with a fetish for your own victimhood.
Right.
That's how they see it. That's because they're fucked up, because they have a psychological break. There's something in them that feels tremendous shame for the failures of their people to fight. And so how do they compensate? By fighting. They compensate for that failure by asserting their worth through conquest and bloodshed and violence. It is a broken society of broken people.
Yeah, it's also, for Jews, the Holocaust is the central origin story that they're raised on, even if you're not Israeli. I know it's like that in America. I'm sure it's like that for Jews pretty much anywhere in the world. You're raised with that. So now you take that and you connect it to these people who had nothing to do with that.
Right.
That you really perpetrated very similar crimes against what was done to you. You can't acknowledge that, right? It messes up the whole story of the triumphant Jew, the Exodus story, right? The Jews who were down and out and had come out of these camps triumphing over what are racist Arabs, right? They're supposed to be an extension of the Nazis. Right. So if you raise your children to see them that way, they're an extension of the Nazis, what's not justified? In these people's minds, we were nice to these Nazis. We didn't kill them. We didn't exterminate them. And look at the thanks we got.
Exactly.
That's how they see it.
Come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only there.